place versus going out to Seattle so many times?
Yeah, we have had a few in Seattle. Tough place to play, so to be at home will be outstanding. And first time, at home, I'm sure it's been well documented this week, but first time at home in a while. So really looking forward to that. Can't wait to see our fans excited, especially with the later game. I'm sure they'll be ready to go.
When you look back at last season, no fans at US Bank, I mean, just how eerie was that? And then obviously how much of a difference will be now having the fans back?
Yeah, really looking forward to having them back. There'll be great energy, and it's part of what makes playing for the Vikings so special.
Kirk, what KG Osborne, what if you've seen him more than we do? What do you see in as a receiver develops? Is he on track? What does he look like to you?
He's done a great job since OTAs with making difficult catches, playing with a lot of confidence, and being great after the catch. Using speed and running down to get the ball. So I've been really impressed with the effort he's given really since the spring, and it's just continued. As we got into the real thing with the games.
I think the stats show, Kirk, that last game was one of the fastest that you've gotten the ball out in that time to throw stat. Was that game plan specific, or is that kind of something that you're looking to do more of this season?
No, I was probably just an anomaly. They were pressuring us. I was hot, a lot, so you can't hold on to the ball. Ball's got to go. So some of that was probably just being hot.
Zim said he didn't think there was any difference these first two games with play action usage. Maybe it appears that way, that maybe it looks less, but the numbers would actually support that. Does it feel like you guys are just using it in different situations, or game plan's not calling for it as much?
We haven't gotten to it as much, for whatever reason. I think week one we talked about it, when it's 1st and 25, it's not the same as 2nd and 2 or first and 10. So got to stay in the right situations to be able to do it. But it's hard to argue with what the production was in the first half against Arizona with staying ahead of the chains and not having a lot of third downs. So just haven't gotten to it, but there's a lot of football left.
Kirk, last year the team started at 0-2, but the team didn't play well at all in the first two games. This year you're still 0-2, but the team's played better. I mean, is 0-2 still 0-2, or is there a different vibe and confidence because you overall have had some solid play in the first two games?
I think we believe in our locker room and in the group we have and in what we're doing, but the results are all that matters, and that's what we measure by. So we understand that in this league, winning and losing is really what it's all about in terms of how you're measured. So we got to be able to win.
Kirk, you've had a lot of cracks already at the 2-minute and 4-minute offense, not only end of game, but going into halftime too. How do you evaluate the body of work that you put together there so far?
It's always a work in progress. You're always trying to get better, get points. We'll just keep working to improve in that area regardless of what we've done, leading up to this point.
Kirk, in this day and age of analytics, everything, and every year it seems like there's a new stat or a new measuring stick. Is there any that you pay close attention to, or do you try not to? You just go with the flow of the game dictates?
I think there's a lot of things we pay attention to. Asking our scouting staff to give me their thoughts on what they're seeing in trends, and our analytics department and trends that they see. And I don't think there's any one statistic that jumps out. I think why you have a scouting department and analytics department is because you've got to be able to discern through many statistics which ones are important, which ones jump out to a specific week or a specific opponent. So there's a lot of data, and I think it's not only gathering the data but being able to look at the data and make something from it that is so valuable.
In terms of moving defenders around, what are the similarities and differences between, say, motion at the snap and play action after the snap?
Well, teams usually have rules, as to how they cover something. So when you're motioning, their rules can change. I'm playing this coverage in a 2x2. I'm playing this coverage in a 3x1. You just motion from a 2x2 to a 3x1. Rules may change. I'm bringing a blitz to the slot. You motion. That's no longer the slot. Is the blitz still on? Is it not on? If it is on, am I traveling before I bring it, or am I staying put and someone else is bringing the blitz now? So you want to unsettle defenses with movement, get them thinking as well. Post snap, it's just different and the same in the sense that you're trying to give eye violations, make them, say, is it run, is it pass? If I step up to honor my gap in the run scheme, now where am I going in the pass game as far as my zone drop or my man, who's my man in coverage? So you have your man coverage, you have your zone and zone coverage, and you have your gap and run defense. And so they're responsible for all those things, and you obviously want to make them, have to honor those things all at the same time and hopefully put somebody in a bind. But, that's football, that's every scheme, that's, what you're doing every play.
We were talking with Dalvin a few minutes ago about the fourth quarters and you putting them, you getting the offense in position to win. I think the thing he was most impressed by was like the recall and those like crunch time moments for you. What goes into that? Like how difficult is that when you have so few chances left to help the team get that win for you and just the responsibility in those moments? How do you manage it all?
Well, that's playing quarterback. I mean, that's part of the job. But we were just at lunch yesterday, and Dalvin and I were recalling a play, and he was laughing at the words and what it takes to get it all spit out in the noise. But it's a we thing. It's not me getting us down there. It's Coach Kubiak calling the plays. It's 11 guys doing their job, play in and play out to get us down there, and that's the way it'll always be.
Coach Zimmer
said he thought your leadership has been a lot better this year. What do you think has changed in that regard potentially?
I don't think a lot's changed. I think I've been the same guy, all the way through. So, just stay the course, keep working, and hopefully the wins will come.
Okay, I guess kind of along those lines, is there something that when you're in a place longer, it makes it easier to kind of take on that mantle of leadership when it's guys and a system you're comfortable in? Does that just become more natural over time?
I think it's important to be self-aware and understand how you fit. In 18, I wasn't going to show up and say, "Hey, you guys just went 13-3. I have all these good ideas. Listen to me." There's a little bit of how do I fit into this puzzle. Now that 4 years have passed, or 3 years, but in the fourth season, there's a little bit more of an ability to have assimilated and understand how this organization works, where you fit in that puzzle, and then we've been through, I think, 4 coordinators in that time too. So there's a lot of a change, and it's always a moving target as to what things look like.
Speaking of the coordinators, do you get yourself in a spot where the heat of the moment, you're trying to lead your team, and the play comes in, and there's a moment of disagreement, or where you're questioning whether that should be the play, or you have one better?
I heard, of a quarterback, who would pretend that the headset went out, and look to the sideline and say, can't hear you. And then I've never done that, to answer your question. But, when I say several times over the last month that Clint and I are on the same page, what I mean by that is that's not happening because we're on the same page. There will always be dialogue back and forth. There will always be communication. But I have always believed in coaches coach and players play. As one quarterback said, you call it, I ball it. In other words, you give me the play, I'll go execute the play. There's certainly times where I'm giving feedback, but to be on the same page and really trust your coach to do his job and he to trust you to do yours is I think, so important, and I think we have that.
Kirk, why do you think Seattle has been such a struggle for you guys in recent memory?
And we're a play away in a couple of those games now. We're a play away. So we're right there, and we got to find the inches on Sunday.
Kirk, you expressed frustration a couple of years ago about being a 500 quarterback. I mean, now your career record is under 500, but you look at your stats, I mean, they were great last year. This year, you're 4th ranked by Pro Football Focus among all NFL quarterbacks, but the team is 0-2. Do you ever get kind of frustrated, like, I'm doing everything I can, but it's just not translating into victories, or what?
There's 15 games left in the regular season guaranteed to us, and that's a lot of football. And so I'm excited about how much we have ahead of us to get this thing, in the right direction. So a lot of football left, and I'm excited about that. All righty, thanks, guys.